as president-elect. And I've been licensed over 18 years with a few different brokerages. And last year or this year, I was awarded the Realtor of the Year award. And I am passionate about helping people get started in the business. As of today, I have helped over, probably we're gonna up this number just a little bit to about 130 to 135, just about 135 agents either begin in the business or enhance their career by moving their career from one brokerage to another. So I am pleased this evening to see new agents or inspiring people that want a second career, and also agents who are here who have recently passed their test and who are in the process of getting licensed and choosing a broker. You can reach me by cell phone. Text messages are always good. You can also catch up with me by email and on social media. If you look for the hashtag Moving with Nakia, you'll find me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and even Pinterest, because I scroll through Pinterest in the evenings when I'm bored. Okay. So catch up with me by using that hashtag, and let's connect. Make sure we connect when this call is over, because I love connecting right as soon as you guys are in this process. So thank you, Brenda. You on mute, I think, or we can't hear you.
Thank you, Nakia. You will get to hear a lot more from Nakia towards the end. She's going to be talking about the fun part, which is money. I start you off with going through the information that you need in order to get started. In order for you to get started, meaning for you to have your real estate license and start calling yourself a real estate agent, in order for you to go through the course and the exam, you need to be over 18. Majority of you are going to put a check mark on that. If some of you, for example, I have experienced where you have a parent who wants the child to get started on this, they can. And child to me is anyone under 18. They can get started with the course. However, by the time they are going to take the exam, they need to, or rather by the time they're applying for their license, they need to be over 18. So I have experienced that to where if the parents wants the child to get started, that's perfect. As long as by the time you're getting your license, you are over 18. The next step is you need to complete a licensing course. This licensing course is 60 hours. If you are going to be upgrading, that is for those of us who right now, it's like I'm just getting started, but I really want to be the broker, the person who oversees everything. That's perfect. You do need to have been licensed for 3 years before you become the broker. And the broker, I'm going to simplify that as a person who supervises all the people under a real estate company. So for you to become that, you need to have been licensed for 3 years. So let's focus on the beginning point, the 60-hour course. I'm going to go through the requirements or what is expected in that course. The entire 60 hours is timed. When you take a course with me or any other instructor, whether you take it online or face-to-face or virtually with an instructor like what you're experiencing right now, it's an entire 60 hours. You have to complete the entire 60 hours. The option of the course is one of the 3 ways. You can take it online, what Brenda will reference to as independent study. That means there's no instructor checking in with you to guide you through the course. There might be recorded webinars, but it's pretty much at your own pace. That works for some of you. The other option is you can go to a location, what I call face-to-face right now, where you go to a specific location that comes with a schedule, or you can do virtual at the convenience of your home, work, wherever you have internet access. You can take the course. Similar to what we're doing right now, we go through the 60 hours together. So one of the 3 ways will be applicable to you. The course at the very end, we need to check on your level of understanding and also to prepare you for the licensing exam. So we're going to have a final exam that is part of the 60 hours. There are very many schools available that can guide you or that you can select from. This is where I'm going to direct you. If you want to go through the list, there are about 30 or 40 different schools that are available to offer you that 60-hour course. The place that you're able to go to is the Maryland Real Estate Commission. By the way, everything that Brenda and Nakia will be talking about, majority of it is going to be sent to you via email as a follow-up at the end. So if I have that person who's saying, Brenda, you're moving too fast, yes, I am, because we have basic amount of information we're going to share, and we want to share it within about 40 to 45 minutes. So if I skip over anything, please note that an email will be following up with majority of the information that we're sharing. What I did for you in terms of the schools, remember there are about 30 schools, is where I'm going to highlight some of them. Disclaimer again, if you're not attracted to the ones that I'm talking about, you can always go to the Real Estate Commission. Brenda is going to do her best to give you examples. Okay. Yes, yes, and Nakia also said yes. So at the end, if Brenda did not address or Nakia didn't address your questions, always know that you can ask your questions via chat. I will be pausing in a couple minutes to check in on if you have questions, so hold on for me with that. If we don't respond or if we don't have your question answered, we definitely can get you an answer by you contacting us over the phone or text message. We are open here to get you started. To the content. The course, as I mentioned, online. Here's where you're just seeing it again for that visual person. Online independent study. This is at your own pace. Virtual, you're going to a location. It comes with a schedule. Or you're doing, face-to-face, you're going to a location, or you're doing it live virtual, exactly what you're experiencing right now. I, the instructor, I'm presenting the information to you. You have the materials, and we're going through the course together. With these three options, the two that offer a schedule, this is an example of a schedule. Each school will have their own schedule dependent on the instructor. So here's an example in terms of how the 60 hours could be broken down. Monday through Friday, if you calculate, that's if you're going to do it 6 hours, then roughly that's about 2 weeks. To some, we like that. I get it done. 2 weeks, I'm done. However, right now, probably that is either going to be accomplished virtually. There are very few schools which are offering that as an option where you're able to go to a location face-to-face. The other option is 3 times a week during the day. That takes you about 4 to 5 weeks. This is just breaking it down, the 60 hours. In the evening, 2 to 3 times, 3 to 4 hour session, you're taking anywhere 6 to 8 weeks. And lastly, for some that might be attracted to the one that's on a Saturday, you're taking about 8 to 10 weeks. So that's a sample of the schedule. Let me highlight some of the schools that I am familiar with, that anyone here who right now is saying, I'm ready, Brenda. I just needed to know, where can I go to get started? I didn't know about the Real Estate Commission website. I can check that out later. This is one that is starting on the 27th. It is a virtual class. It's starting on the 27th of October, 2 times a week, 4 hours, ending on December 15th. And the school that is offering that is the Agency Institute. You will notice that I'm going to highlight 3 schools. Whichever one you pick, the outline is approved by the Real Estate Commission. The content is going to be covered according to that outline. So it doesn't matter where you end up. it's still going to be 60 hours. The other school that I am familiar with as well that has a course starting up well, a little bit later. This is the one that I'm familiar with that's starting a little bit sooner. You might find another one by going to the Realistic Commission website. And Nakia will expand upon the cost. That school, the cost, as you saw, was $299. The other place that I'm familiar with is CBRB School of Real Estate. They're starting on November 9th. So right now, if there's anyone already checking out their schedule, I've planted the seed that you have October 27th as a starting date, and in December 15th for the Agency Institute. CBRB School of Real Estate is starting November the 9th and ending about the same time as the Agency Institute. Here they have it ending on December 14th. The cost is $249. The third one I'm going to highlight is GBBR, Greater Baltimore Board of Realtors. Probably you notice we are biased, Nakia and I, to sharing with you what GBBR has. This one, Saturdays, some of you might be getting attracted to that. Sorry, it is full. Naturally, you will notice that anytime you have a course like this, some of you are taking this in the evening, or it's going to be a dual career type of a situation where you're still working your 9 to 5, for example, and Saturdays is what you're attracted to. This one is already full. It's going to be starting the end of this month, so sorry on that. The next one is starting on November 2nd to December the 21st, and that one will be in the evening. This one is going to be face-to-face. So for that person who has to leave the house for whatever reason, and you are ready to go into a location, this is the one for you. You're not going to find that many that are offering the face-to-face option. This is where I pause and check in. Feedback, comments so far. We've gone through examples of the schedule, examples of schools you can check out. And if these don't work, you can always go to the Realistic Commission website, or you can, again, take the class online. So far with the courses part, questions, feedback, or comments? Okay. If you're still typing, then I will be patient and wait. Otherwise, I'm going to go on to the one that I mentioned from the Agency Institute. I think I already shared this, but in case you just joined us, this is the one that is starting on October 27th, ending December 15th. And it's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays virtually, exactly what you're experiencing right now through Zoom. The instructor is leading you through the content. Oh, here's another one that I forgot. The other one that is also virtual is Elite. And here, notice they're starting in November. So if I'm doing a recap, which you will get in the evening, most of them you notice in a starting. Either this one is the one that's most current, or rather most recent coming up. The rest are going to be in November, and you'll get an email follow-up with these options. Let's assume that now, let's see, let me just call out somebody. So let's assume probably by now, Danielle, she's signed up for the course, and she finished on about December 15th, as you're noticing, or December 18th, thereabouts, right before the holiday season. The next thing that's going to happen is you are then going to be able to schedule for the state exam. You finished the 60 hours. You completed the final exam, which is to prepare you for the state licensing exam. Once you get an email from the company known as PSI, PSI is a company that does the testing for anyone that's getting a license in Maryland. You will register and you'll sign up to take the exam. And let's assume still using Danielle. Thanks for participating. Let's say I'm still using Danielle. Then Danielle is going to schedule for the exam. And let's assume, Danielle, that you're going to pick the exam date to be December 22nd. So when you pick that date, now let's talk about the exam. Some of you, this is why you're here. Now you're getting ready to take the exam. It's December 22nd. What are you going to expect? The exam is going to cover two topics or two parts of it. You have the national, which Brenda calls definitions, where it doesn't matter where you are in the United States, the definitions, you need to understand that. That will offer you 80 points, and you have an hour and a half to complete that part of the test. And then you have 30 questions that come from Maryland state law part. So that you have a total of 2 hours that you will get to complete that exam. The state exam is on a computer, so you'll be able to go through the questions. They are multiple choice. Let's break it down in reference to this particular exam that we're talking about. This is key to where when you go to that location, now because of COVID, that location, the locations were closed. They did open up on June the 6th. I still leave this on because even yesterday I got a call from somebody who was working on doing her exam, and then it was rescheduled and she just gave up because she thought, well, I don't know when PSI is open. So public service announcement, the testing locations have been open since June the 6th. When you go to take the exam, this is where Brenda is going to come in again to help you. On the first Tuesday, I do offer a free exam prep session that goes into what you can expect, where you're going to find resources to get you ready for that test. And beyond that, I also do offer group sessions on the following Tuesdays where we go deep dive into the content. So the first Tuesday for me is set aside 1 hour to go through getting you ready for that test in order to make sure that you know what you have available to go and study for it. Some of us might need Brenda's attention in terms of digging deeper into the content. Let me give you a heads up. It's a lot of information. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're going to get 2 books for those of you who are going to be taking it either face-to-face or virtual. You get 2 books. One book by itself has 21 chapters and 556 pages that I, the instructor, and you are going to go over. The other book is the Maryland book. It has 14 chapters and it has 200, I have the book right here. It has 270 pages. Imagine going through 2 books and putting all that in 60 hours. It's a lot of information. You will get overwhelmed, but you will figure it out in terms of how much time you need to spend every day to cover the content, but it will get to a point where maybe it's too much for you. And I understand, I'm preparing you for that. So what I'm able to do is the group sessions where we have, again, we meet again on a Tuesday, 6:30, and we go through the content in order to help you get ready to pass that test. So that's what I do every Tuesday. The first one is free. The others are paid sessions, and I'll break it down. One Tuesday, I'll do the national part. The other Tuesday, I will do the Maryland part. These websites will be on the chat message in a couple minutes when Nakia is talking, and they will also be part of your follow-up. So I mentioned every Tuesday, that's what I do. So hopefully I will be seeing you one of these coming Tuesdays, getting you ready for the test. So let's recap. You've taken a 60-hour course. You're getting ready to pass the state licensing exam. You then have 1 year to decide whom you're going to work for. So the question I get is, Brenda, I have done all this and then I still have to be supervised by someone? Yes. This is almost like every other industry out there. Even if you drive an Uber, you still are working for Uber. If you're doing Amazon business where you're picking up groceries for people, you're still working for Amazon. Similar to real estate, where once you get your real estate license, you're going to be working under a person. We call that your partner, your broker, the person who's going to supervise what you're doing. You have time to select whom that person is. During that time, there will be questions that you might be needing to ask that person. And that's where Nakia is going to come in, and also that 1 year, maybe it's time to help you budget for what is coming in the future. So Nakia is going to be talking about the money and the questions you might be asking your next potential partner in your real estate career. So before I switch over to Nakia, this is where I check in again. Are we all good with what your next steps are? And if not, what can I clarify or review? To speak, you can activate your microphone. If you're using your phone, it should be at the bottom when you tap on it, or you can type in your question on the chat.
I don't know if you mentioned it, but can you tell us how much the Tuesday classes are after the first free one?
Great question. So the Tuesday exam prep sessions are 3 hours worth. And during that 3 hours, it is $60, where again, we'll go through the top 3 topics that are mentioned in the test. You'll get me to ask the questions. You'll get review questions during the session. We'll go through those review questions and follow up as well after the session. So those are $60 for a 3-hour session.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any others? So Nakia, get ready while we see whether there are the questions.
I'm all set. If you, that
Awesome.
looks like everybody's ready to talk about the money, our favorite part, right?
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's get right into it. I have my notes here. And I think Brenda, you're going to put everything up on the screen for me, right? So now that you're interested, first things first, Brenda told us we had to go to real estate school. So we know that the classes are right around $250 to $350. And once you finish the real estate class, the course, you now have to take your state exam, your national and state exam. And that's going to be with our we call it PSI test, okay? It's $61. The reason we put that in bold is because you can take that test once, or if anything happens and you are not able to pass it on the first go, you can take it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, but every time you go, you're going to pay $61. So you are definitely going to want to connect with Brenda and do your exam prep so that you are ready to take that test. But once we can say congratulations and you passed that test, you will now pay the Maryland Real Estate Commission $90 in order to activate your license, okay? Activating your license also means that you have chosen a broker partner or a broker to affiliate with and partner with to run your business. Next up, and before you do any business, you have to join one of the local boards so that you can become a realtor, okay? Now, of course, we're going to say the Greater Baltimore Board of Realtors, and mostly everyone here was in Baltimore. If you were in another location, say like Washington, near Washington, D.C., or even in Howard County, there are other boards you can join, but each board's membership dues is right around $800 a year, okay? So you'll be paying the $250 to $350, $61, $90, and $800. That's the first half. Go ahead and change that screen for me, Brenda. Next up, we're going to talk about your Bright MLS. Yep, Bright MLS. So how do you find houses that are for sale, or how do you list houses for sale? It's the multiple list system. That's what MLS stands for. In the Baltimore area, we're using Bright MLS. There is a setup fee or fee to join of $295, and then quarterly, if you're in Baltimore, you'll pay that $120. If you're in a different location, it's $180. And the reason for that price difference is that in Baltimore, we are part owners, we are investors in the multiple list system. So our members receive right around $40 to $50 in savings each quarter when they pay their quarterly fees. Next, after you have located houses or listed houses, agents have to get inside of the house, and we use a Century Key system. Looks just like a credit card. It's the size of a business card. Looks like a credit card with the chip in it. That's this year. Next year, we are going to telephone only. So you're going to have a Bluetooth app from your personal cell phone that's going to open up lock boxes. We began using it. We've been testing it over and over the past couple years, but this is going to be it. This is how we're going to get into houses, a smartphone app. Okay, the world is revolving. So your application there is going to be $50, and then your annual fee is $165. Okay, now we're all starting a new business. So guess what you need when you start a new business? Just like when you buy a car and you need insurance to drive off that lot. Once you get a license in real estate, you're going to need some insurance, because there are lots of errors or lots of omissions that we can make, because we're all human beings, and we need to have that business insurance coverage in order to do business. Now, the price will range depending upon which broker you affiliate with. Some brokers have one annual fee. Some brokers, like the broker I'm with, has a per transaction fee. And generally speaking, your insurance could range from $500 to $1,000, just depending on how your affiliated broker schedules that fee. At the broker I'm with, it's a cap on $500. So I know no matter how much business I do a year, that I'm only going to pay $500 for this errors and omissions insurance. Okay. When you tally all of these fees up to run your business, to open up a brand new real estate business, to open up really your own company, because you're an independent contractor, you're self-employed, you're going to open up a brand new business, it's about $2,200. Anywhere from $2,000 up to $2,200. I say an average of $2,200. It could get up to $2,400, just depending upon when you're affiliating. But your fees will never go above that if you're using all of these fees that we're giving you here in Maryland, and they will go down to about $1,800, $2,000. But I tell every agent that I assist with joining and affiliating with a broker to budget out $2,000 annually. All of the expenses aren't annually. In Maryland, our licenses are renewed every 2 years instead of annually. And just depending upon when you join the board, it will be prorated. So it could be a little, could be a lot, just depends on when you're joining. But just keep in mind a $2,000 budget. Let's make it an even number and say it costs you $2,000 to be a real estate agent a year in business expenses. Okay. Did I cover everything, Brenda? What's on my next slide? Any questions about money? And I did see a call come in. Oh, Kim, yes, Kimberly said, yep, Kimberly's license. I thought so. She already has her, she has her PSI exam pass letter. Congratulations. And I saw that on social media. Excuse me for one moment, y'all.
That's okay. So with the content so far, we have covered what you need to do to get started is a licensing course. We've offered you a schedule. What comes next is passing the test. Now we've covered budget. Questions on the budget that sometimes we get is, can you pay a little or all of it? That's going to depend on the company that you elect to join. Some will say, yes, I am okay with you starting with at least this amount. So some will probably say, you know what, Brenda, for you to get started, the bare minimum that you're going to have, sorry, I'm clicking on the wrong button. The bare minimum that you're going to have, it at least going to be, you have to get your real estate license, right? In order for you to get started, that's $90. And then for you to be able to start showing houses, these two kind of go together, which is your real estate board dues and your MLS access. In order for you to access the MLS, they will normally ask you if you're a member of an association in order for you to get it at a lower price. If you don't have this yet, then you are still able to access the MLS, but it will be a little bit higher for you until you join the MLS. So you have the $90 and then you pay for the MLS, which we saw was, and setup fee is $295. And then quarterly is going to depend again on whether you have joined an association and or which one. In order for you to get into the house, then we've seen that this is what Nakia was talking about, which is a Century Key. And then from there, the insurance comes, again, dependent on the company that you select. And any extra fees, remember, you also still need to let people know that you are in real estate. This is just the bare bones. This is like you just turning on the lights to your brand new company or office. You still have to let people know. So you also need to start budgeting out your marketing expenses. What are you going to use to let people know that you are in real estate? If it's going to be calling them, then marketing expenses to Brenda is still time. How much time are you going to spend in terms of letting people know that you are now in real estate? What Nakia was going or is going to cover next, which let me know when you're back, Nakia.
I'm back.
Okay, there you go.
I
There
have
you go.
guests at my home that don't understand what I do, basically.
That's
Working
okay.
from home is like not working in this world here. Okay.
I know. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So we
they don't understand. I have a nice sign on my door, one of those hotel do not disturb signs. It doesn't matter.
No, we know. So we're going to go into questions because again, we have 3 sets of groups. We have the ones who are, just curious how to get started. We have the group that had questions about the exam. Now we have a group that is going through, well, I've done all of that, Brenda. Now what's next? So Nakia, you're going to continue on this one.
Yeah. So first things first, as a new agent, you are going to want education opportunities, okay? How much education is offered by a broker? If you're joining a team, how much education and coaching is offered by the team? That's your very first question. And nowadays, we do want to know, do I have to get in my car? Do I have to drive to an office? Do I have to drive to an education center? Or is this education provided virtually, like Zoom? It's our favorite thing now, right? Zoom. When I have to get dressed and leave the house, I'm actually upset. I throw a little hissy fit that I have to put clothes on, real clothes, and leave out of the house. So that's a key question. Education. Is there a mentoring program? Is there a schedule? Will I receive the schedule in my email, or do I have to go out and look for opportunities myself? Okay. What about employees at the brokerage? Where are the employees? Is the administrative staff available locally? Do I have to drive to an office if I want to get help from the broker's support staff, or if someone has to show me how to use something in one of these computer systems, do I have to bring my laptop and meet them at an office, or is there someone who can call me on my cell phone or dial into my computer and can help me? What level of support? Are the teachers only available 9 to 5, or are there education classes and support staff that's available like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.? How do I interact with the people at the brokerage? And that's a great question for our dual career agents. We call dual career agents anyone that has maybe a full-time job, 9 to 5, or even 3 to 7, 10 to 6, whatever your hours are. If you have a full-time job, which we know pays the bills in the very beginning, and throughout your career for the most of us, if you have that type of schedule, can I still communicate with the brokerage, or can I still receive support from the brokerage? So today especially is a great question, is what level of support and how do I get the support, and what's the time that the support is available? Okay. What other questions do we find a lot, Brenda? Oh, marketing materials. How am I going to tell everyone I'm a real estate agent? Do I have to put guesswork in, or is there materials available for me? Are there flyers that are designed already? Are there presentations that have been designed and I can just add my photo? Oh, is there a website where I can just add my photo, my contact information, where I can put some custom details? Is there someone that has made that for me, or will I have to foot the expense, or will I have to create this? So find out what are the cost-free marketing materials offered by the brokerage. Also, which real estate volunteer activities does your broker take part of? Today, Brenda and I was in a meeting, and one of the agents on our call, she made a statement that her broker manager has never talked about the board of realtors at a meeting or at any interaction with her as an agent. And I'm like, wow. So, the free things you get at the board, the free education, the events, the networking events, even a happy hour, your broker or your manager, who's your business partner, has never told you that this is available to you. So that seemed pretty strange, okay? Even the office or the company, you need to make sure that they are supporters of your local board of realtors, or they interact, because there is a lot that happens from that level to the office level, okay? And it's an interaction, it's a collaboration. All of those things are going to make your business work. You being an agent, you being at your board, and your broker should be a puzzle that comes together and completes your business circle. So make sure that your office, your company, or even your manager, your business partner, make sure your business partner knows what's going on at the board. Make sure he or she attends meetings. Make sure he or she transfers the information that they get from the board to you, because that will help you in your business. And I think there's one more question that we always get, Brenda. What's our last one? Is
No,
there one
you
more?
have it. Go ahead. Maybe I didn't get that one. Nope. What do
Oh,
you
okay.
have?
No, it may have been the marketing materials and marketing materials and education websites. I bet you it was websites. Yeah. Does your broker provide you with a website? That's really important, because we're reading a book now, Become Your Own Boss in 12 Months. And today we covered our website section. So if we want to be our own boss, we need a website, but that takes about a month out of your business plan. And if someone else designs your website, and if it's free, that's even better, right? Because we all like free. We want to run our business for $2,000 and not a lot more. If there's a small cost to maintain that website, hey, that's great. But to build it from scratch and to kind of figure out what the law says you can add and what you can't add, and to build all those things, that's a big deal. So ask your broker, will they provide a website also? I think that's it. If you guys have questions, I can take your questions. I had a role as a broker manager. I have a role as a team leader, as a business partner. Like I said, I have helped and started agents in their business. I help them run their careers or run their businesses, make sure they have everything they need. So if you are looking for a broker partner, I'd be happy to sit down with you and have a conversation, either about myself or another business partner, to help you, ask the questions, find out what's the real deal, break down any hidden secrets, anything, because I do work in the industry and I know a lot that's going on. So I'll be happy to help you. So again, moving with Nakia. My phone number is 443-864-1358. Text me, connect with me on social media. I am here. This is all I do. This is what I love to do. And if you need help, I'd love to help you too. So thank you. And thank you, Brenda, for having me on the call. Thank you for offering, the education opportunities. People like us look for people like Brenda to offer this information on a monthly basis. So we definitely want to give you a shout out for taking time out this evening to help us get our agents up and running. Thank you.
Thank you. So right now, I don't know if there are any other questions. Hopefully you got your answers to any of the ones that you had. If not, maybe you're feeling shy. You can contact Nakia and or contact me. That's my contact information. So I have a 6:30 class with actually 27 people attending. So I need to get ready for that. You can contact us. Let me see what we have offered for us. Oh, you're welcome. So look for an email that's going to be sent out to you with a summary of everything that we discussed. If you have any questions, then you'll be able to reach back with us. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.